Hi guys, Alice Taylor here, and today we're going to look at the top 5 low spinning drivers for 2016. So, still low spin is what it's all about. We want to hit it further. A few of the manufacturers are talking a bit more about kind of accuracy this year. It's not all been about bombing it as far as we can. But I've got the drivers here that in my individual tests have spun the least, and if you're looking for a low spin driver, you should be looking at these drivers. Now, a little bit of a surprise later in this video, so make sure you watch all of it. No particular order, we're going to go 1 to 5, but it's not the best to the worst or vice versa. We're just going to run through them very randomly. So we're going to start with the Cobra King F6 driver. So the Cobra King F6 Plus, we've got the weight that we can move from up at the face back to the back. So we've got this set for low spin. We've got the MyFly loft, so we can move it set at 9.5 for me, and stiff shaft, ready to go. Okay guys, so we've had a little look at the kind of tech in the head. You know, a lot of this is built about low spin, getting the weight forward near the face. But there's some nice forgiving options in here, and there's a choice of colours. I've just got this one in blue. So I'm not going to get into the actual characteristics of numbers. If you want to see how they performed, look at the individual reviews for each driver. But just going to give you a bit of feedback as looks and feel as to what you might be looking at if you're still looking to change. So for me, the Cobra looks great behind the ball. It's very loud off the face. And it shifts. And I've seen this with all the equipment I've tested this year. You know, if you get them set up properly, they perform well. Equally, if you strike them badly, which an element of that is the fitting with the length, but if you strike them badly, the numbers won't be what you're hoping for. But let's just have one last one with the Cobra. And yeah, it's loud. Certainly for me on the high T with that loft, I can still launch it high, lovely and flat. And I was really pleasantly surprised when I tried the King Cobra F6 Plus driver. So we're going to shift from Cobra and we're going to go on to Ping. And we're going to look at the Ping G LS Tech. Ping G LS Tech. Got this set 10.5. Still got the turbulators, Dragonfly technology, but out of the 3 available models, this is the one that should spin the ball the lowest. So guys, LS Tech, just low spin. Again, performed great this year, been really popular in fittings, the G range, and certainly for me, the LS Tech just kind of takes a bit of spin off the ball. Still feels very fast off the face. And for me, certainly with these, no issue getting the ball up in the air with the Ping. There's a couple of the models where I think maybe they don't quite spin enough for some guys, and that's where you need even more loft on it if you can. But LS Tech, you know, I think looks fantastic with the turbulators and the Dragonfly technology on top. Wouldn't mind getting my hands on kind of one that looked like Bubba's. But even though this is a low spin model, Ping's still very much talking about their drivers being very stable, very accurate, and a low spin just to help squeeze those extra few yards out for those guys who are looking for it. But no real adjustability other than around the neck with the Ping. So moving from the Ping, we're going to go into the Callaway. We're going to go XR16 Pro. So XR16 Pro head, lower spinning, still got all the aerodynamics in there to give us that extra speed from Boeing, but slightly lower spinning head than the standard one, which again ideal for this comparison. Now, XR16 I still think is the one for the masses. For me personally, felt it spun too much. But Danny Willett used his standard head fantastically well at the Masters. But slightly smaller head with the Pro version. Doesn't massively bother me it being a little bit smaller, but I always feel for me that the full 460 is helpful. But it looks nice behind the ball, and I think noticeably looks smaller than the other guys. For me, it's not quite as loud off the driver face, but again, still great flight, good performance, and delivers on numbers that I'd be looking for. If you're a Callaway fan, undoubtedly you've already tried XR16. Interested how many of you guys out there have tried the Pro model and how many of you found it was better, if any. But yeah, just very solid, great flight, and feels like I could work it either way with XR16 Pro. But we move from that into Nike. And with the Nike driver, I've gone for the Fly Pro. So we've got the Nike Vaporfly Pro. So Rory's driver, set 9.5, and you can see that on there, as standard. Again, the low spinning option. The Fly is the more kind of aimed at the mass market, but this one certainly be the lowest spinning out of the drivers that I've tried from Nike this year. Which is the model that Rory's using, and a couple of the other tour players. Some of the guys though are just using the normal Fly model. Certainly for me though, I know this spins a little bit less. Looks different behind the ball, being the blue. Not choice of colours like there is with Cobra, but you know, I think it looks great behind the ball. And this is actually my driver, so I know this performs. I've been fitted for this one. Bit of adjustability around the neck, but again, no adjustability in can I move the weight around to increase or decrease spin. For me, that's where the different models would offer. But out of the three models, this is the one for me that spins it the least. So one more with this. And again, I know I can kind of work this one, even when I hit a little fade. You know, I keep the loft good so I don't spin it too much. But three different models from Nike, low spinning, I think you need to be looking at the Fly Pro. So we're going to work on to TaylorMade, and we're going to go M1. So M1, multi-material, fantastic looking from the top with the two different colours. As we get underneath, we've got the adjustable hosel. We've got the sliding weight, which again, front to back, high to low spin, got it set at low spin, and the weight, sliding weight at the front, just set neutral right in the middle. So I've got M1 set, low spin, up near the face. I think it looks great. I mean, when it first came out, it was very, very different behind the golf ball. I think it looks fantastic behind the ball. I think you get some fantastic numbers off this. I remember from my review video, some really, really good numbers. But TaylorMade threw a bit of spanner in the works this year. M1, really good, very adjustable with that spin rate, but my surprise inclusion in the top 5 is actually a 6th driver, the M2. And the wild card, the M2. So adjustable around the neck, but certainly once we get in there, no adjustability for the weight, and the weight has been moved further back for a little bit more forgiveness, but in all the testing, really, really low spin. So guys, M2. Not adjustable with the weight in the bottom, still just movable around the neck for the loft and the face position, but this was very much marketed as weight moving back in the head, talking about more control. And yet, in my testing, and certainly with the majority of the fits I've done, undoubtedly it's been more forgiving because the weight's a bit further back, but it's also been very, very low spinning, which I think has offered a bit of a dilemma for some of the guys who were looking at M1, because the price point of M2 is lower. Looks identical because it is from the top, and when you hit it, just phenomenal. So guys, my top 5, maybe 6, low spin drivers for 2016. We've got the Cobra King F6 Plus, we've got the Ping GLS Tech, we've got the Callaway XR16 Pro, we've got the Nike Fly Pro, and we've got the TaylorMade M1 and or M2 drivers. So guys, like I said, no numbers on today's. This is just really talking about the drivers you should be looking at or possibly interested in. If you do want to look at some numbers, I have reviewed all these videos independently. Just go on my channel, watch those videos, look at the numbers and see what you think. Hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. Like and share it if you have. Leave any comments below. Hopefully catch up with some of you guys down there in the future. Stay in contact.